currently platted. It was platted in 1949 for single-family residential development, never occurred. The owners are here this evening.
Let me ask one question.
Sure.
Why would you want to put a landfill on a boulevard in a neighborhood full of houses?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll talk about that.
I get to it, Tom.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, because it's not landfill. But we'll talk about.
What else would you call it?
We'll talk about what the development is for the property. But first I want to introduce some folks that are here this evening. Pardon? Go ahead. Want to introduce some folks.
This is the same lie you told the last time.
Well, I don't know. I
You're an
wasn't.
attorney and you're a liar.
Thank you very much. Let me introduce to you the owners of the property. Elizabeth McCullough is here, and she has been working with her mother and her family to develop this property for years. It's been in the McCullough family since the 1930s, and they've been trying to get something going on this property for a long, long time. And
Would you call a landfill a development?
I don't call this a landfill.
What would you call it?
I call this, what we're proposing is a development for industrial development.
You said, well, what are you gonna dump in it?
We'll get to that, sir.
Yeah, you'll get to it if you don't really want to know, do you?
No, we want, that's why we invited you here.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
blame it.
okay, well, that's good, I mean, that's, okay, that's all right.
You introduced Liz, and the fellow next to her looked like he's an owner too, but he waved his hand like going to introduce him. Do we get a chance to know?
I'm not an owner.
Okay.
If you'll just allow my wife to speak on her behalf, I'm her husband. I'm not an owner.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I'm Amelia Hill's daughter. My mother passed away April 28th, and this property has been in the family, as Bill said, since the 30s. My great-grandfather was Tom Russo, who had Uncle Tom's cabin up there, and we grew up there as kids and went to St. Anne's and Fairmount area, and we lived there for a number of years. And through the years, you know, she has, as her mother began to age, we tried to sell it, and it's been a long time dream of hers was to sell it and turn it into something positive. And so with her dying in April, this was something that I hope that we might have something positive for the area.
I'm sorry, you say that she wanted to make it into something positive, and I think by seeing all these people who are concerned about that property, I have Heartland Conservation Alliance here, and she would be very willing to try to get the community to own that land, to make it into a conservation area. And maybe your mother would really have gone for that a lot more than to making it into what has been proposed now and before. I just want to put that out to you, that a lot of us would like to see that happen. And if it gets it off your hands into a very positive addition to our community, I think that your mom would probably be very happy with that.
Positive for the community,
Yes.
positive for the economy of the community, positive for the property value of the community. Well, this will decrease the property value in the community.
I'll let
Yes.
developers talk about that. It was an idea she liked, Mr. Houston, and so we'll see what he says.
That brings us to Lance Houston. Lance Houston.
The Vice President of Weisberg Parks Engineers here in Independence, Missouri. And we're the engineers, land surveyors on the project. If you look on the color drawing, as Bill said, you've got about 44 acres here. It's going to end up with about 21 acres of surface area of developable land.
But you know, really, I think what I wanted to say mostly was I don't really think that my argument actually is with you as a business person or you as a lawyer. I think my personal argument, and I've lived up there for over 30 years. I've lived up there, I'm 60 years old. I've lived up there since I was 9. So, you know, I'm as old as a lot of the houses there. And I think my argument is with the landowner. Because the landowner, if her family lived up there all these years, like it really meant something, it stayed in the family, you would think that she would extend that courtesy to all of us that have also lived up there 30, 40, 50 years.
Amen.
And we want to have our grandchildren live there and go to St. Anne's and the Fairmount area and everything that you had. We want the same things for ourselves and for our children. I'm supposed to grow old up there, you know? I think all you're after is money, and as you said, we have the benefit of her private property with the wildlife. Our benefit also of that private property is cleaning up everybody in Independence and Kansas City that dumps up there, that they don't clean up that property, we clean that property up, because we don't want to see it. So if it's her private property, I would think that she would keep it clean and neat and orderly, just like all of us have to keep our properties. But my main gripe is, you always want to put something in up there that you yourself would not want to live next to. Why do you think we would want to? Don't you know, we're going to fight you all the way until you put in the neighborhood. That's all I want to say. It's nothing for you guys.
Maybe we won't have to fight. Maybe we can buy her out with help.
I don't think she'll sell to us.
Would you sell to us?
No, we tried to buy some of that. She turned us down.
Sell to us on the whole thing. Would you sell to us?
Can I say something on behalf of my
Yes,
wife?
yes.
That property has been for sale since 1984. No one in this room has ever approached. There have been signs up for sale for many, many years. Okay, so this gentleman right here stepped forward when the sign was up for sale and made an offer. And that's all that's been done. But since 1984, nobody in this room has stepped forward.
That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie.
And it, well, okay, now you come in and you say, we want to make an offer.
Maybe. We will try.
Maybe.
We will try. We
Okay.
will, it's a
there's
day.
There's
So,
no
you know,
maybe.
Maybe
We
we
will.
can do
We'll
that.
find a
To
way.
keep this from happening over and over again, because it's obvious, it would only be fair. I understand where you're coming from, and you must understand where we're coming from. I'm sure that we're not all coming from the same place, but if we could manage to get the grants, to get the money together, to buy that property from you, to make a preserve out of it, would you be willing? It's money's money, right? Elizabeth?
I'd have to see all the factors, and of course, I was hopeful the school district might look for that property as one of the new schools, but they weren't interested either, so
Okay, but
this
that's
was
not,
the first positive.
I just want a yes or no for you. Money is money, right?
You know, we're under contract now, so legally I can't
Sure,
sort of
okay.
say
All right.
anything, but, you know,
It has to be-
anything is possible.
Her mother, when I met her mother, we talked and she said, "You look like a man I can trust." And she said, "I really want you to have this and do this project." And she had tears in her eyes. And she passed away since we've signed the paperwork. And if this goes through, I'm gonna put a monument up there to her mother, because it meant something to her mother. And I'm sensitive to the community.
Is any of that area in the 100-year flood?
The stream itself, the creek, is part of the stream order plan. It does have a 100-year floodplain.
And that's
It
why
runs
the
down through that area. That's correct. So we have to be very cognizant of both city ordinances and also the federal FEMA requirements with respect to increasing the freeboard height of the floodplain down there.
And are they involved in the rezoning? Is FEMA involved in the rezoning request? Does the Corps come in and do phase 1 at this stage?
No, there will be a review of impacts typically by environmental scientists during the project. That report will go in if required for a section 404 permit. If not required, because we're not impacting waters of the U.S. on the property, we haven't done that environmental study yet because we're still in the zoning phase of the project. But when we get to that, if there's impacts to those streams, it will require a permit from the federal government. That those 401 or 404 permits would be submitted for and reviewed by the